Okay, Kurt. So, one of the traps that constantly grips me is right and wrong, good and evil. I find myself so often being addicted to responsibility and just like what I feel is right and wrong. And one thing that I'd really like to explore with you is everything. Not only like where does that sit, but like, the before, during, after, like cleaning that out, whether it's necessary, like all of the above. I'd like to understand the landscape around that, if you could help me.
Of course. That's a fun point of exploration.
Yeah. Explorer's hat on.
And we go. I feel like as far as right and wrong goes, light and evil, we're playing out and exploring the field of duality. But what comes, I think, in is to set the stage of what's really important is to come back to a state of neutrality, neither for nor against, because our rights and our wrongs, our goods and our bads, always is our push and pull in life, right? Always it has that tether that either creates a state of joy or a deep state of suffering. If we've failed or we've succeeded, we're continuously following and being pushed and pulled by these cords in life. What I've come to see is that if we return to that state of neutrality, neither for nor against, but just observing the movements of life and how we can come to that state of neutrality is through our simple practices like meditation, like presence, like mindfulness. Yeah? We need to remember, in order to not be so pushed and pulled by life and have that tug of war going on, that we need to first stabilize everything. Yeah. That stability I've come to see in my own journey and bear witness to in so many other people's journeys is the most phenomenal, liberating, freeing space to operate from. And we could potentially live from that state of being in the world yet not of the world, a much more enjoyable quality of experience. But I think what's really necessary is to try and help people get to that space, get to that space of neutrality. What is neutrality? What is neutrality? Well, neutrality comes when we stop being the ones so engaged in the game. We can take that step back. Yeah, stop being so involved in the personhood, in that which we think we are, or that which we have been conditioned by the world. Yeah, to step back into the space of just becoming the witness, being able to watch without opinion, being able to observe without being so invested in it. This is what I believe, this is right and you're wrong. Yeah, being able to observe that there is two sides to everything, and that we're so quick to choose sides, and when it is another way, we tend to not see the connective threads. Yeah. For example, let us say someone has gone through tremendous hardship in their life and is maybe conducting themselves maybe not in such a beneficial way as a human being, maybe creating more chaos than beauty. And one person would be of the opinion, choosing that this, my way is right and your way is wrong, but not fully understanding what is behind this other person's experience, why they are conducting themselves in such a way, that it is in fact their suffering, their pain that is driving that conduct. We're so quick to jump on them, point the finger of blame at others and say you are wrong and you should be doing this. Yeah? But we need to come from that greater whole understanding that allows and accepts the other just as they are, conducting themselves in the way that they are at that given point in time, knowing that from this space of detachment, from this space of neutrality, I'm neither for or against. I accept you, I see you, I acknowledge you as you are. And I see beyond what you are presenting to the world. I see that there's so much more to it. So who am I to say right or wrong, to say good or bad, to say light or evil? Who am I to cast any form of criticism or judgment towards other? And same to self. We go through this same battle with ourselves of, I failed, I should have done better, I know better. But again, if we step back into that state of neutrality, a state of detachment, and we're able to see from a greater point of perception, a higher state of perception, I would say like the eagle flying high above, we're able to grasp the greater vision, the greater play that's at hand, and in turn come to a much more centered state of understanding of why this is necessary, why this is playing out, and how we can go about it in a different way. I feel so helpful. People are so close, so stuck in it, that they're so pushed and pulled by it that they're unable to free themselves and step back into a state of greater detachment, to that state of neutrality, and experience the freedom that that gives and the greater understanding that that gives. We can establish that state of neutrality simply by entering into that deeper state of presence within ourselves. Just witnessing, just watching, creating and cultivating more inner silence. We're so used to operating from a space of dynamic thought, always thinking, always doing, always pursuing something. Never satisfied with what we have, always wanting more, always needing to become more, always needing to improve upon. This is a trap that so many people get caught in, and are only ever experiencing momentary satisfaction, momentary joy. It is quickly fleeting, always just there, and just like water being cupped in their hands, quickly flows through their hands, unable to hold on to the very thing that they just put so much effort and energy into. And then desire arises again. I must become more, I must do more, And then the pursuit continues on, but also at the expense of a tremendous amount of energy from the individual. So we need to be able to learn, I feel, collectively, the work is in establishing that state of detached neutrality within oneself first. To cultivate more presence. How can I be more fully here? How can I arrive more fully with my breath? How can I listen more deeply to my body? How can I detach from the need to always think, do, become, and achieve, and accomplish? And how can I just sit in those moments of serene silence and just be absorbed into that a little more fully? I found has been the greatest recipe to establish that state of neutrality, which gives so much.
And then can I just ask a question around, like, that trap itself of even falling into that illusion of right and wrong, not enough, etc., etc. Like the landscape that's even behind that of, I don't even know if it's a fair question to ask, but like, why is the bear trap there? Is it all just a joke to see if we fall in it? Or like, what's going on? Like, why in this dimension is that trap there, and does that exist on every dimension?
Good question. No, it doesn't exist on every dimension. And I think we give some context to that as we go on. Different dimensional planes are governed by different laws, laws of operation.
Mm.
And just like if we simply see the laws of nature operate in their own organic way compared to the laws of human expansion and evolution, we move within a different dimensional plane of expression. Nature is somewhat fixed, unable to be mobile, and doesn't have the faculty of self-reflection yet in its process of evolution. I feel like that bear trap, as we say, serves humanity in that third dimensional plane, because we are operating under the law of cause and effect, of karma. Through every causation there is an effect, and with every effect there is causation. It offers us the opportunity here on, say, Earth School to mature, to gain greater understanding, to refine, strengthen the spirit, and develop, to evolve. Same as every form of life, there is required a little bit of pressure. The diamond is formed under tremendous heat and tremendous pressure to create something so pure and so strong, that can reflect the prism of all seven rays. Something so pure undergoes such a tremendously arduous journey to become what it is. I feel like in the human experience we are exposed to tremendous hardship. We are tremendously privileged by this as well. And I feel like these bear traps, these hang-ups, these egoic games that we invest ourselves in, lose ourselves in, find ourselves in, and then evolve from, is the necessary pressure that is required for the human being to take its next step upon the evolutionary ladder.
So it's like, ooh, a bear trap, what an opportunity.
Yes, precisely. Just like every every moment of pain, every point of suffering offers the opportunity to look at it through a different lens, to grow from it. Just like every time we fall, we get back up again. We're a little wiser, a little more solid on our feet, and go, okay, maybe best not do that. Maybe I'll try it a different way. And we may stumble again, all good and well, but we, in most cases, tend to learn from these things. This is the process, just as every good teacher would offer challenge to student. The teacher must offer challenging circumstances, challenging questions, challenging points of inquiry, not to just play into the student's game, because there's a tremendous amount of distorted understanding there, which is good, but in order to refine that to the fields of exploring greater truth, seeing more clearly, we must challenge, we must confront the student in certain ways, put them on their back foot, so they have to think about it, that it questions the very roots of their current understanding, their paradigm that they have subscribed to, in order to move into clearer waters. We have to go through these.
You have to motor out. Sometimes kick up even more dust.
Exactly.
Shit.
but so beneficial.
Yeah.
So beneficial. But I'll answer that part of does this belong to every dimensional plane? That fight, that push and that pull, it only serves up until the point of like fifth dimensional frequency bandwidth. Starting from first dimensional plane, we have rooted in the first dimensional plane the mineral kingdoms, the manifestation here in the material universe of all the minerals belonging to first dimensional plane of conscious evolution. From the mineral planes, the next step of evolution, moving into the natural kingdom of all the plants and trees and flowers. And
so that's second dimension, sorry, the plants and flowers. Yeah.
Yes, so we can see minerals have a multiplicity, diverse experience to manifest as many different things and experience what it is to be that. Then consciousness decides to evolve and manifest into something more expanded. And again, the natural kingdom offers a tremendous opportunity to manifest in now more richness, more sensitivity in trees and flowers and plants than there is in stones and rocks and crystals and so on and so forth. So the experience for consciousness itself is more diverse, has more area to explore, to move with the wind, to absorb the light of the sun, to grow towards the light of the sun, to delve its roots deep into the rich, fertile soil and receive the nutrients of that, to be in communication like a living network with every other living thing in this beautiful organism. Then we move from that to the third dimensional plane of consciousness. Again, each plane, each dimension is resonating to a certain frequency, vibratory frequency bandwidth. Each level higher just expands the frequency, and the higher the frequency, as I'm sure lots of people have heard, raise your vibration, raise your vibration. It's not just a spiritual term. Raising the vibration is lifting consciousness to the next plane of exploration so it can start to move in and express itself creatively and intelligently in brand new ways. Yeah? From that plant natural kingdom, we then move into third dimensional expression of frequency, which we appear to have animals and humans existing and coinciding in that third dimensional plane. The lower runs of that plane, I first better pre-frame that, each dimension has 7 subplanes.
Okay.
7 stepping stones.
Quite the cake to get through, isn't it?
Yes. Before evolving, just like the musical scale moves from a C to the next highest C. Yeah. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then C again, but on the next octave, next frequency higher. So there's 7 steps between, and the 8th step is the first step on the next octave, on the next frequency. This is the same in dimensional expression. So on the first, second, third subplanes of like third dimensional expression, we have some of the simpler forms of animal life. Yeah, and then again higher we're starting to manifest animals with a different intelligence that are able to move in more coherent ways, express greater intelligence, great creativity. Yeah, and then we have humanity appearing in that third dimensional plane. And again, the third dimension offers a different experience. As the natural kingdom can't uproot itself and move around, third dimension offers the dimension of movement, being able to move forwards and backwards, up and down and side to side. Yeah. Yeah. And we have there, if we explore that field of frequency, we have some human beings demonstrating very animalistic behavior still. Yeah. So let's say they're just on that run above animal man. Yeah. Very primitive perhaps in their way of seeing things, in their way of conduct, perhaps quite crude, and playing out those domineering aspects of a man or a woman in the world that needs to dominate, that needs to express power over, to manipulate, to get what one needs, to provide for oneself, out for themselves, to provide for themselves. Yet they haven't yet explored that space of, hang on, we're here together. How can I help you? And through helping you, that helps me. Yeah. And if we look at the diverse experience of the human experience, we have human beings playing out really animalistic things, behaving in those ways, still learning those things. Then we have, perhaps on the higher runs of the third dimension, someone who's becoming a little more self-reflective, becoming aware enough about myself and how am I conducting myself, how do I influence others, what is my impact on others, how am I turning up in my environment, how am I holding myself as a man or a woman in the world. We have a little more self-awareness all of a sudden appearing, and so on and so forth, refining awareness. Then we have fourth dimensional humanity. Human beings enter into fourth dimensional plane, the astral plane, through dreaming. And at first, they're just dreaming. They feel like it's just random, everything is just unfolding. It's perhaps, unresolved parts of the mind just needing a plane to play out. But there's a sense of I am. In dream, you feel the dreamer is real. The dream world you are exposed to is real. You have a sense of I exist there, yet you're not inhabiting a body. Yeah? You're in an astral body, yet you have the same experience as you do in waking reality. You feel I exist. Things that happen in the dream feel very real. Sometimes there is lots of people from waking reality in your dreaming reality. Lots of learning, lots of teaching, lots of sometimes abstract things, but a different arena of expression. It's more lucid. It's more malleable than waking reality. So fourth dimension offers the experience still of duality, but of greater malleability, greater flexibility, a greater field of expression, and we're able to move in that domain much easier, more instantaneous, and come to see things in a different light. Then fifth dimensional frequency. Duality only belongs up to fifth dimensional frequency. Fifth dimension is the plane of unity consciousness, where the two have become one, unified. Duality moves into unity. Humanity in its most refined state of evolution, the meditator, the one who has explored tremendous depths of their innermost being, has stabilized the mind back into the state of neutrality, has lifted the vibratory frequency within their own physical vehicle, their own emotional vehicle, their own auric and astral bodies, is tweaked, entwined, and refined to that crystalline state. Then one enters in their field of conscious expansion into the state of unity. Unity then offers a totally different domain.
See the excitement on your face.
This is sweet spot.
The icing.
Yeah. And this is what I am encouraging people to move towards that state of unity. Because in unity, we conduct ourselves in an entirely different way. In unity, one then centralizes themselves in the state of neutrality, is neither for or against, neither likes or dislikes, is able to just simply be the observer, to be in the world yet not of the world. A human being like this does not create harm, does not inflict harm on anyone or anything, creates beauty in every step, in every thought, in every word, in every point of expression, becomes and demonstrates harmony in action, love in every word, emits truth and presence and stability. Through their creative expression, a tremendous intelligence starts to appear and be lived by such an individual. This is the path of human evolution. This is where we are all going without exception. It is moving upon the great scale of consciousness expanding, shifting into different frequencies, just like you would change your radio station.
Kids might not get that analogy these days, but we all do.
Yeah. Changing frequency, just like changing to a different station. It's broadcasting a different song, has different hosts. Yeah. Different host, different show, different vibe. Yeah. That's all it is changing of the frequencies. And we are navigating the changing of those frequencies as a collective. And we are collectively, as we are aware that the world is waking up and we're wanting to find more peace, we're wanting to find, so many people are so curious about, who am I? Looking to that question, who am I? How can we bring more peace, more love, more connection? How can we start to remember how to move in harmony and in rhythm with life itself? These questions are appearing as curiosity. People are leaning into that curiosity. How do we work together? Yeah. And this is the way to work together, is to continuously be looking to refine in that way of how can I balance any disharmony I have within myself. How can I learn how to stabilize my mind? How can I find more forgiveness and self-love and self-appreciation? How can I accept myself just as I am? How can I soften into myself a little more fully? Yeah. How can I hold myself with deep respect and reverence and honor? First, if I hold myself that way, I will then be able to
share it.
Give that. I don't need to preach, I can just be that. And you can feel that I respect you and I see you and I love you and I appreciate you just as you are. And that I don't see anything wrong here. I see beauty. And sometimes I just see potential there, waiting to flower. Yeah. Just like the young sapling growing, just establishing its roots. In that young sapling is the potential of this tremendously huge, big oak tree, going to grow and be so strong and so beautiful and gift shade and shelter to so many. But at this stage, just young it is. We have many young humanity on earth, but we also have wise old ones, carrying the wise old spirit, that a gift, shade and shelter and refuge to those seekers lost in the desert of life, exposed to so much heat and pressure and pain. Come rest under me. Come rest.
Nice. I guess this is probably me just trying to grab the third dimension and dragging it up to the fifth. So excuse me while I get my blankie. So when you said that when the fifth dimension gets to that place of unity where that no longer exists, the two become the one, then in that expression of like, you know, beauty, the way we hold ourselves, the things that we express, the things that we do, getting to that more harmonious place. Well, I understand that in a way that just feels nice, and it feels like the path of least resistance, like we're not getting as much debris as we go down that river. In another way, I'm also curious that it seems like we're still choosing good things rather than like, how does the darkness exist simultaneously within that? Is it like once those two merge with one, that because it feels like there should be no such thing as either. You know, if we mix opposite colors together in the color chart, then we end up brown or gray, you know, like that sort of mud. And it's like, I know that brown and gray can be beautiful too, but I guess in a way, I'm like, I just said I'm dragging one up, but I just sort of still feel like it's slightly one-sided, even though in another way that makes sense.
Well, I think what we're potentially trying to grasp there is how to unify the polarities of life. The polarities of life merge together through the process of integration. As we integrate those parts within ourselves that we have rejected or seen as bad or not good enough, holding no value, same as the projection to other. This is of no value, this is no good, this is wrong. Integration is about clear seeing, as we spoke before, that what is playing out right now through this person or myself around self-worth and not good enough is not the truth. It's not that you're not good enough. You just haven't grasped your true value yet. You haven't come to see that perhaps the mistakes you have made in the past that you're hung up on, you're telling yourself that story and feeling, you know, not so good about it, is the making of you. It's the stepping stone that will unify the darkness and the light. And as human beings, we have the great potential to choose, right? We're under the universal law of free will. We can express ourselves however we wish. And there's nothing wrong in doing so. There is no higher than or lesser than. A person conducting themselves in a beautiful manner is no greater than somebody who's playing out a gross nature. They just need to and are choosing to, under the law of free will, to play that out, because there is tremendous learning and value to be gained. And if you deny that human being that experience, right? If we are denying and trying to force people, just do beautiful things, just do good things, and they have something inside of themselves that needs to roar like a lion, that needs to go and bang heads with other bulls, you're suppressing. That spirit of suppressed expression will play out in some way, shape or form, because it needs to. It's a requirement. And so that we're condoning this and saying, yes, go out and just create chaos. No, but we have to understand the process of integration. It's not about suppression, it's about expression. It's about looking at those things and seeing, wow, you know, as an adolescent, as most of us go through those blurry stages of trying to find out who we're about, we're trying to explore and figure out things. Sometimes we conduct ourselves in not so beneficial ways. Maybe we're a real dick or a real bitch about things, or we create havoc and harm and hurt people with our words and lash out at the ones we love. That's not who we are. It's just what was arising in those immature states of our exploration, but so necessary in gifting us clearer seeing.
The trap again.
this.
Mm.
Yeah. So unity is about integrating, not rejecting.
Mm.
Not saying, I just take these beautiful things and I reject those ugly things. It's about going, I love and I cherish all just as it is.
Yeah.
I cherish those things that have gifted myself pain and others, knowing that they've offered me the opportunity to grow and to learn and mature as a human being. Yeah. I don't reject them and choose this, nor do I choose that and reject that. I'm not good. I'm totally this man, you know. I love effing shit up and I love running amok and I'm about this and about destroying shit and that's just how I roll. You're rejecting this part of yourself and again choosing this. Some people will choose this, some will choose this. Instead, we need to bring them together.
Fuck shit up with joy.
Yes. Right? So it's about bringing those two together, not rejecting any part of self, but integrating those parts of ourselves, finding peace with all of the things that have offered us the catalyst and the opportunity to learn.
Yeah. Nice. And then, what's above the fifth? All the kids want to know.
Just like the musical scale, 6th, 7th, and then we shift into the 8th, which is a different octave again. Within our universal experience, we have access to those 7 planes of consciousness.
Mm-hmm. So 7 planes of consciousness.
Yes.
It's not like they just exist somewhere, but they do, but they don't.
They exist here now. Everything is here now. Everything is readily available. You need not move anywhere, relocate anywhere. 7 dimensions of evolutionary experience accessible in the here and now, coinciding in one space. Yes.
In the soup.
But at this point, not beneficial to speak on anything higher than 5th dimensional consciousness, because we lack the sensitivity within the instrument to grasp. Mm-hmm. Beyond 5th dimension, we're operating from a mindless state. Unity is mindless. You have transcended the state of mind, of intellect. You move into that which is uncomprehendable to mind. The apparatus of mind or intellect or the human psyche is unable to grasp what lies beyond itself. It can only explore the known field, not the unknown. It is like using some instrument in space. It doesn't work there. Like using something we would here on the earth in air underwater. Yeah. That instrument doesn't work there. Mind doesn't work beyond the state of unity. Unity is the field of oneness at one moment. At one moment can only be experienced, not explained, because it doesn't belong to the domain of explanation. So really hard to gift anymore, other than the finger pointing at the moon. Go this way. Mm-hmm. This is something here.
Yeah.
Walk in this direction and you will see.
For yourself.
I cannot explain the beauty and majesty of the moon, but look for yourself and have your own direct line of experiencing with it. Mm-hmm. And in so, we won't even need to discuss. You just know.
Yeah.
Just acknowledgement is there.
And foundations first, anyway, hey?
Foundations.
Speaking of which, is there anything else that you would like to talk about or you feel like we've missed when it comes to these foundational realms?
Mm-hmm.
Or understanding of?
I feel like one of the greatest foundational approaches that I've come to find myself with all of these years is just establishing a deeper practice of presence. Instead of, I need to go this, I need to figure this out, I need to, not doing, but being. Presence is being. In being, you become more heightenedly receptive. Practice of presence simply is, how can I be here more fully? How can I arrive in this moment and just listen to the whisper of the wind? How can I put my feet upon the earth and connect with that which is? How can I take a moment to receive the rays of the sun, listen to the song of the birds, feel the warmth of my beloved's hand? How can I be with the ocean? I may be entering into the shower, the water. How can I connect more fully with the water I drink, the food I eat, the people I'm speaking with and engage with? Presence is about not being absent of mind. When speaking, not thinking about what's next, or I can't wait to inject what I have to say, but just listening to the other person sharing with wholehearted present attention. Without creative projects, to be fully with them, not anywhere else. Just be with what you're doing as you're doing it. Do it with the totality of your awareness, with the totality of your being. I think just this alone sets the individual on the right path in a really good way.
Yeah, and there's so much room for that, isn't there?
So
every
much.
interaction.
Every
so it's like in every moment we can practice that. Just
every
being
moment.
a bit more present, a bit more present.
Yeah. Every moment offers us that opportunity. There is no moment that denies it.
We don't even need to roll out the yoga rug or make excuses.
Anything, every conversation, every interaction, every night cooking a meal, every glass of water. How can I be with this more fully? When I walk outside in nature, how can I receive this? When I go for a walk in the morning, how can I not run off with what the day carries for me and what I have to do and all the responsibilities of my life? How can I just be with every step, listen to the crunching of the leaves beneath my feet, the stones? How can I listen to the movement of my breath and the air around me? Can I just be here? I think just that alone sharpens awareness. And if awareness is sharpened,
Fifth dimension.
we're on our way to unifying all that clashes.
Yeah.
And conflicting parts then can meld into each other. Yeah. And then it looks like we did nothing at all. It just happened by itself. Yeah. Presence, presence, presence. Awareness, awareness, awareness. Home.
Good.